deal with the school zones at the end. Papanui-Innes, Ali Jones.
Hi. We've got no Part A's, so I think as David did before me, we'll take the report as read, and I'll just raise a couple of the issues that you may be interested in. The big projects for us at the moment in the ward, the St Albans Community Centre rebuild, which is eagerly anticipated by those in the ward. We're keeping a very close eye on deadlines and time frames. We're not builders or engineers or project managers, but we do think that at the moment the time frames are a bit long. The rebuild is anticipated to start in August. We're pretty much there now going for resource consent, so we are a little unsure why those dates are quite stretched. The St Albans Park Pavilion and toilets, 5.3 in the agenda. Some information in that is not entirely correct. It's not remedial work for the buildings. It's in fact a rebuild of that pavilion building. That is our understanding. The grassed area of the park needs serious work as far as drainage goes and returfing. That is to start in July on the 1st. And the only reason that hasn't started sooner is we're advised there is quite a fair bit of congestion in the tender market at the moment. So the staff have been ready to kick that off ASAP, but for that reason haven't been able to. That will take around a year, which will be disruptive for the community. It's a well-used park, but the staff have done some excellent work consulting on what the pavilion should be built to include. We all thought a kitchen might be good for, a few sausage rolls and things at half time, but kitchens are not top of the list. It's toilets, storage, and we're hearing some changing area. So Pauline's whispering something to me and I can't hear, so you'll have to hold a sign up, Pauline. We're really looking forward to that because we've been dealing with a soggy, boggy, revolting turf park for nearly 6 years now. The Redwood Plunket Rooms, this is urgently needed as well, as we've mentioned in our annual plan submission. This building is going to be used primarily as a base for a community board funded social worker, and also funded through the Belfast Community Network. We are still seeing a huge amount of mental health and stress issues in our ward, particularly in those areas where there is clear deprivation, and in some of the areas that aren't so clearly deprived either. We know that there are social workers and community workers working in St Albans School, for example. So, and we help fund that as a board. We'd actually like the CDHB to front up and fund some of these a bit more, but as we're all hearing, they're pretty stretched as well right now. The construction that's going on in our ward with regards to the cycleways, as I'm sure you're all experiencing in your wards, is causing a bit of stress. I think our residents are being really, really patient around this. What I do think we need to do as a council and community board is communicate with our local media and with our community board members a lot more than we are. I have found out that we are doing 3 streams of work down Rutland Street at the moment. One is the stormwater and wastewater, the other is the fibre cabling going in with Enable, and thirdly is the cycleway development itself. Now, if each stream was done one at a time, it would take a heck of a lot longer, as I'm sure you can understand, and it would mean we're digging up things 2 or 3 times, which we don't want. And I think when this is communicated to residents, they are far more accepting and supportive of the disruption that they're having to deal with. So we are doing that through our Facebook pages and through emails and through forums like this. I think that is about all. The annual plan, look, Look, to be frank, in the past we've often found at annual plan sessions there are more staff and elected members than there are members of the public. So we're bribing people with pizza, and we're hoping that that will help this year. Now, I'm being facetious. We are inviting...
You're encouraging people with pizza.
Encouraging bribe, tomato. So we are inviting principals, so we're going directly to schools in the ward, and we're going to residents' associations in the ward as well. On the 10th of April at the Papanui-Innes boardroom, really just to see what the issues are. And we are aware of a lot of the issues because of people obviously coming to the board, and we're on the ground in our wards as well. And also putting forward the 3 main projects that we have presented to council already in our submission, and will be presenting to council in our submission as well. We also have had a record number of applications for the Edible Gardens Awards, which is really great, and the staff work very, very hard at this. I did try to encourage judges to give me an award for best tomatoes when they visited on Monday, I think it was, to take photographs, but that didn't work. So we've got 50 this year, which is, I think, 5-6 more than we've had in the past. And why that is significant is because we've lost Northwood in our boundary changes, and they were big gardeners and entries in the competition. So that's about it.
Very good. Pauline?
Can I just, thanks, Ellie. Can I just add to that, if we look at 8.1, oh God, what page is it? Page 322. It talks about the BURP, which is the Belfast Emergency Response Plan, and this is the one that they're actually widening it to include the coastal community to support any other further tsunami evacuations by opening a support centre. So it's good to see the two areas working together, and our community governance staff are working well with Belfast Network and Civil Defence to develop this as a community-led response. So yeah, I just congratulate the Belfast Network for this. They're a really active group.
Great.
And they're doing very well.
Thank you. There was just one other very quickly thing I see in the press this morning, the swimming pools stuff and the proposal for free under 16 visits, which I'm sure our board would think is absolutely marvellous, but I just want to raise the flag. We know that Graham Condon is extremely well used, and in fact myself and Deputy Chair Emma Norrish swim there. I haven't been harpooned yet, which is good, getting into the pool, but we are finding that it's very hard to get a lane sometimes, and I think that's because the swim clubs, we've lost QE2 obviously, the swim clubs are coming in. If there is a code brown, then everyone moves into that big pool as well, if this happens in the smaller pool. So all I would ask you to consider is, when you look at this, that you think about capacity in our facilities as well, because the last thing we want to do is not be able to provide access if indeed it gets very good pickup.
Very good. All right, and I presume, Pauline, you'd like to move it, and I presume Mike would like to second it. So I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you very much.